Here's a look at some of the Mario games I own and games that feature Mario but without the Mario name. This is the game Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES, quite possibly the best game that ever came out of the NES period. It's also one of the best-selling games of all time, making $1.7 billion in sales. The game was so popular that it had its own animation television program and is also referenced in many other different Mario games. The gameplay goes as follows. Mario and his brother Luigi embark on a quest to save Princess Peach and the rulers of 7 different kingdoms from the series' evil villain Bowser and his 7 children the Koopalings. The two must traverse a total of 8 separate regions in order to restore order to the Mushroom World. Each level is full of so much mystery and fun, which makes this game truly a masterpiece. You retrieve flutes from secret places to warp to other worlds. You can have different suits to put on, including the Frog suit, Tanuki suit, and the Hammer Brothers suit, all in order to save a kingdom. Not to forget the Super Leaf suit, which transforms you into the Raccoon, and that's when you take flight to reach great heights. With such smooth gameplay for this side-scrolling adventure, most would consider, and even the creators would consider this game, truly a classic for the NES. And if it wasn't for Universal Studios' 1989 release of The Wizard, we would have never known how to get to the second flute. Since the movie's release, Super Mario Bros. 3 was a commercial success and one of the most highly anticipated games of 1990. Now, since I've already retrieved 2 of the flutes, I will not use them until I get to the second world, so this way I can show you where exactly the third flute is located. Here is one of the Hammer Brothers stages in which you can retrieve a prize after defeating a Hammer Brother. I've noticed that if you hit the end block on each level in a certain area, you can retrieve the same card, which will give you more lives, which you will need towards the end of the game. This is the castle level, which you can see the king's been transformed into an animal, and Toad is desperately seeking the help of Mario. All Mario has to do is to be able to traverse through the enemy warship, then defeat one of the Koopa children. After defeating one of the 7 children on each level, you will retrieve a wand, and with that wand you will hand it back to the king, and the king will give you a letter from Princess Peach, which would also include a prize that will help you along your way. Most of the time it will be a P-Wing, which gives you continuous flight while in the Raccoon suit. This is the second world, the Desert World. Here we will find the third and final flute. Next to the first world, the second world is quite easy and can also find many game glitches on this world. For example, if you hit this P-Wing just right, and you can clear all these coins that are going to be stacked in a triangle like that, you can actually find entrance by that orange pipe right on the side. All you have to do is jump in a certain spot, and you're able to go through the pipe without actually having to go through the pipe. There's also other mini games, including a memory game to which you would flip each card over, and indicating which card that you've matched, you actually get that prize. Here I wasn't so lucky. Mario also encounters many concussions to the head after hitting his head against bricks in order to get to a certain area or to gain more coins. After all, he is a doctor, so he would know what's best for him. Here's another Hammer Brother level in which you retrieve the hammer. You will need this hammer in order to get to the second, well, actually the third flute. Most people don't know about this area, but if you played this game as much as I have, you will know exactly where it's located at. This is where the third flute is located, and if you can't beat it the first time, it's always a good thing that you have backup and you can fight fire with fire. Well, for at least 2 seconds. Anyways, after you defeat the Hammer Brothers that throw fire at you, you retrieve the third flute. Now while on that middle line, you can use a flute again, and this will take you to the 8th world. On some of these levels, they can be quite challenging. Some of these levels are fairly slow, and you can get through it pretty well. And on other parts of the levels, the ships and the tanks actually roll a lot faster than they should. And sometimes that happens when the game glitches on you. Well, since I wasn't able to finish the game, let's move on to the other Mario games. Here's Punch-Out! Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! For the NES. In this game, Mario is a referee, which is kind of confusing to me, because on the cover of the video game it shows some balding guy. I think it should have been Mario. Ice Hockey for the NES. Most people won't actually see Mario or pick up on the idea that Mario is actually in the game. But there he is, dressed up as Luigi. There's two Marios right there. I guess one of them must be Wario. I guess that's what led to the late 80s Ice-Capades. Here's Wrecking Crew for the NES. This came out in 1985 when the original Super Mario Bros. Game first came out, so Mario looks a little rough, and you can actually see in some points where his mustache actually goes into his sideburn. In this game, you go around knocking down walls and doors with a hammer, trying to get away from aliens or whatever those squiggly little guys are, and trying not to get hit by fireballs. But in this case, I wasn't so lucky. Here's a game that needs no introduction, Donkey Kong, for the NES. Now most people thought that Donkey Kong was the good guy since his name is in the title, and Mario was the bad guy. But later on we come to find out that they're actually both good guys. Super Mario Bros. 2. Originally in Japan, this game was called Doki Doki Panic, but when released in America, it's Super Mario Bros. 2. The characters have been changed from Doki Doki Panic to Super Mario Bros. 2 characters. This isn't really a gamer's favorite when it comes to Mario, but it's still a lot of fun to play. The original Mario Brothers for the NES, which if most of you had this, it was attached with Duck Hunt. Quite possibly one of the best side-scrollers since Super Mario Bros. 3. Or until, I should say, Super Mario Bros. 3 came out. And I bet most of you didn't know that Mario was in a Legend of Zelda game. Nah, I'm just kidding. They didn't actually share the screen until Super Smash Bros. Came out for the Nintendo 64. Well, that pretty much covers it for now. Thank you for watching.